We've talked a lot in the past about the value of data in helping you progress, but we've had a question asking specifically about active zone minutes and whether it's helpful for sport walking. Well, the answer really needs to come in two parts: yes and no. Now, in case you don't know what active zone minutes are, let me explain. Active zone minutes is a term used by Fitbit that refers to the amount of time you spend doing heart-pumping activity. Their words, not mine. They also measure active minutes, which relates to lower intensity work, and the two terms together give you a good measure of how energetic you've been, either in a workout or during the day. So far, so good. And it is good. These features have shown themselves to be really helpful in encouraging people to develop more active lifestyles. So whatever we talk about here, let there be no mistake. This stuff is valuable in encouraging people to be more active. But if we're looking at whether this is something to help guide your sport walking progress, development and training, then my advice would be that it has less value, because essentially it encourages and rewards intensity in your workouts. And sport walking is an endurance activity, where the majority of your training needs to take place in lower intensity zones to build endurance. The underlying concept of active zone minutes is nothing new. All good performance watches that measure your heart rate will give you a breakdown of each of your activities in heart rate zones from 1 to 5. They'll list how long you spent operating in each zone and also give you that data as a percentage of your overall session. So you can see that you spent, say, 60% in zone 2, an easy zone, maybe 20% in zone 3, and so on. And this data is really useful, especially for sport walking, because of the objective of walking as efficiently as possible. The higher the intensity of your walking, the quicker you're going to use up your resources. So being able to translate your efforts into clear numbers that show you if you're achieving your aim of walking more efficiently is invaluable. But the risk when data like active zone minutes are turned into an incentive is that they encourage you to train harder than perhaps you should for your specific objectives. It can also lead to trophy hunting, focusing on improving your score rather than simply working in a structured way to a set of pre-planned outcomes. You might also be making false gains for the kind of outcomes you're seeking overall, which is another concern. You could be delighted that you're smashing your active zone minute goals, but the fitness you're building may be unsuited to keeping you strong over a longer, more sustained walk. It's like the difference in fitness between a sprinter and a marathon runner. And I think this is the best way to summarise it really. Incentives like active zone minutes can give you a motivational boost in terms of seeing that you're on the right side of official guidance on activity levels. But they're less beneficial in terms of setting yourself manageable and achievable targets for progress in an endurance activity like sport walking. So my advice would be to use them to understand your exertion level in any given session, but make sure you're looking beyond the headline to see the underlying statistics. Don't get to thinking that a good active zone minute score is the same as having completed a planned session in the right way for you.